Hey guys, so we have to get in and do our Bible-based message for out of this week. We are required to get in with managing this because of it being that we are in the process, and I'm in the process of ending up on using, and I don't know if you can tell, I have my new phone. So I have a new phone that practically came yesterday. And we're going to get in and get started with putting out our Bible-based message for this week. So, hi to everyone. How you all doing? This is Jonathan Ryan. And I'm going to get started. When we were in the process of doing our songs, this morning we were talking about how we can acknowledge the power of God, how we can know who God is in the Spirit. And when God is in us, through the Spirit, we talk about what He does in the framework of life. When we are in that framework of His life, we are acknowledging His power. We are accepting the endurance for what He gives, but we're also giving the opportunity to know who He is and what He does for a living. Not just because He lives in us for some crazy things that we may not want to see in ourselves, but through the motivation of God, we are being motivated to know God. We are being motivated to serve God. We are being motivated to honor God and to worship God and to be in that place, to be in that position, knowing what He does for a living is practically a connection of the heart. And the reason why it is a connection of the heart is because what He does for all people, it gives us a spirit of life. It gives us a moment to be in His presence and how we can automatically be changed from the inside out. How can we be changed from the inside out if we're not knowing who God is? How can we be motivated to know God or to serve God or to be with God in His presence if we're not knowing who He actually is? But through it all, it says that He is the Messiah, the Son of the living God, that He was the Son, and that He became the living God by taking in not just the motivation that He keeps on giving, but through His life, through His mission, betrayal, His ascension, His crucifixion, that what He did, it gives us a moment to be in His presence. And when we are in His presence, we are acknowledging His power. And when we acknowledge His power, we have to know that in Him we can face another day. We are able to be more transparent. We are able to be who we need to be as a minority, as a congregation, as people that live for the glory of one person, and that is for the glory of Jesus Christ. Now, the reason why it is for the glory of Jesus Christ is because He is giving you that life. He's not just giving it to me for what I think it is. He's giving it to all of us because we have the audacity and the freedom and the opportunity to go into it. Not just because it is something that we chase after, that we look to, or something that we automatically want. It is something that we need, and it is a recommendation. It is a free recommendation for you and me. So when we proclaim the love of Jesus, we are knowing who He is by saying that He is the Messiah, that He is the Son of the living God. And that when we say that, we are acknowledging two things. One, we are acknowledging the motivation of God the Father 2, we are acknowledging the power of Jesus. And one last thing, number 3, we are acknowledging who he says he is, because we have to acknowledge the living God. We have to acknowledge him at all times. No matter what comes and goes, we have to acknowledge the living God, because that's who he says he is. So that's our message for this week. See you all later. Have a nice day.